Greetings, Patrick here from Half Cheetah Will View, and it's time for Tuesday or Tubi Tuesday. That's right, we're back for Tubi Tuesday. Of course, Tubi Tuesday was created by our good friend Al Lucard, aka the Bat, also my co-host on the Midnight Society, and and every Tuesday we talk about something we watched on Tubi. So last week I did Ghost Girls, and because I wanted to do just a small break between series, if you're new, I just got done completing A Man Called Hawk, which was a limited series that aired on ABC back in 1989. The show only ran for 13 episodes before it was canceled. Today's show we're talking about is Tucker's Witch, which actually came out on CBS back in 1982, and it starred Tim Matheson, who many may know from Animal House, and of course Catherine Hicks, who is probably best known for in the horror community anyway as for Child's Play. Yeah, so this was a very fun show. I remembered it very well, and I watched it. And this is one of the first shows I watched when I actually was aware of how TV worked. And so, unfortunately, this show never got a chance either to catch on. It's a whole different animal now as far as TV shows. The viewership back in '82, there was only three networks. That was it. Fox wasn't around back then, so there was only CBS, ABC, and NBC, and so ratings back then meant a lot more because there was not much to watch. That's what you watched, or you watch independent stations, which didn't really register on the Nielsen ratings. Talk about a pointless. Nielsen's are pointless now. I don't I don't think I would want any. Before networks would crave network ratings, Nielsen ratings, but I don't think they really so much now because um, nobody's really watching network TV. And so shows like Tucker's Witch, when you talk about them, they say, yeah, they got canceled after 13 episodes, and then you go look at the ratings, and you see they're attracting maybe 13, 14, 15 million people or more, and then you equate it to today's viewing, and a show like Tucker's Witch, much like A Man Called Hawk, it actually would be considered a big hit in today's viewing. Um, the show was created by a pair of co-writers, William Bast and Paul Huson, who were actually writing partners. William Bass was much more prolific. He had over 50 credits to his name, and Paul Huson was not. He only had 11, but they were writing partners, and they both created this show. They created Tucker's Witch. So the premise of the show is married couple Rick Tucker and Amanda Tucker. Rick and Amanda Tucker, played by our heroes Tim Matheson and Catherine Hicks. They are private detectives, and Amanda is a witch, and but her witch powers are intermittent. Intermittent. I mean, sometimes they're on, sometimes they're off. She's not overpowering like a Samantha Stevens from Bewitched. Hers are to some extent lesser, but she has some skills. There's no doubt about that, and they do establish that in this first episode of the series called "The Good Witch or Laurel Canyon." Um, and it opens up with a bang too. I tell you, that's one thing totally forgot about that. I had not seen this show since it aired in '82. Um, but this show comes out with a bang as we meet our killer. He is taking a young lady for a ride, and looks like they're going to stop there and go to his apartment and have some hanky panky. But they get in the elevator and they start going up, and he stops it. And he whispers to his date, I think he's going to whisper, like, "You're dead." Because she goes from being really in a good mood to terribly frightened, and we find out why. Because our killer has just killed her. Um, and so that's how the series starts. They're looking for, and they're looking for the elevator killer. He's a serial killer. He's killed 4 women, and so then we meet Amanda and Rick, and Amanda's familiar, a ragdoll cat named Perkins. Perkins is a very sweet cat, and Rick happens to be allergic to him. So, uh, so that sort of comes up a little bit into the series. Um, but they're very much in love. They run a good business, and we do see some of Amanda's abilities uh, right off the bat. Not really big, um, which I really did appreciate because like some if you had a show like Bewitched and you put all that power into Amanda, then where's the Jeopardy? Where's the thrills, right? So they powered Amanda way down, which is really good. Makes she still got some skills, but she's not going to just be able to snap her finger and turn you into dust. Oh wait, wrong show. Well, you get the meaning. Um, so they have some typical husband or wife banter, um, and it's really cute. It's really cute. Of course they are. They're a really cute couple. They have a lot of chemistry on screen, and they operate out of an office, and Amanda is telling Rick that there's been a fourth killing, and she's like, "Well, how do you know that? There's nothing's been announced." And then later on, they find out that lo and behold, there has been a fourth killing, and a cosmetics mogul wants to hire them to find out what happened to her sister. Her sister was the second victim, and the lady thinks that she thinks that her sister's husband had something to do with it. So they start investigating. As they and talk to the husband, Amanda detects that that he's carrying the husband's carrying something of his wife, but he doesn't realize it. But she says, "Do you have anything of your wife on your person?" And so she shows a little bit of ability there. Um, the husband gives the keys to Amanda, and after talking to the police friend who happens to bring him in for the fourth killing, they realize that the victims have one thing in common, and that they're all married, and they're all part of a dating service. So that leads Amanda and Rick to a dating service that's being run by Danny Kirkwood, who also happens to be our killer. They don't hide the killer from us. We know right off the bat who it is. Uh, and Danny Kirkwood is the owner operator of the dating service, and so Amanda and Rick decide to go undercover and pose as daters, and of course this happens to lead to some shenanigans, um, and a near miss for Amanda, but before she's able to hold off our evil villain, and Rick comes and brings the cavalry. All right. Okay, so this is the first episode, the Good Witch of Laurel Canyon, and it's a good show. It's very fun. It's very very easy to watch. Um, the Amanda showing off her abilities are very cool. The sound they make for the abilities is a little bit weird. It has like where it's like Samantha could wiggle her nose, or gesture with her hands. Amanda, when she uses her powers, she can snap her fingers. Extreme stress, like her one strong ability that she had to use, she was able to snap her fingers. And the other times she would just point at somebody, and then you hear this little ping. That's just lets you know that she's using her power. Um, and like I said, one of the charming things was they didn't make her overpowered, and it isn't always reliable. She got a vision that the suspect was a short, bald man with black, beady eyes, and that never came into play in this episode. It never happened. In fact, she would have never known who the killer was unless he had given himself away, and that's the only reason why she knew that he was the killer. It wasn't anything that she was able to detect. Um, she did have some skills, like I said before. One of the cool things she did was she made our killer's car appear to run out of gas. That was a neat trick, and so they bought her time to figure out what to do. Um, the cast itself. Let's talk about the cast because we'll start off with our killer. Um, is Ted Danson. Ted Danson is our killer in the first episode of Tucker's Witch. And again, it reminds you that Ted Danson, if you see him in Creepshow, or better yet, or CSI Miami, or CSI Las Vegas, and CSI Cyber, you can tell that Ted Danson he can get serious when he needs to be. It's too bad he didn't get more dramatic roles because he's really good at it, and he makes a great villain in this too. Um, as he got older, his facial features gentled. So like when you got to see him on CSI, he's not as villainy looking, but here he looks like a villain. Oh yeah, he ain't handsome in this. He looks freaky, and that worked to his advantage. Um, you know, at, and he makes a very good killer. Um, their supporting cast is also really cute. Of course, it has Alfie Woodward. Alfie Woodward has gone into a terrific career. Here she played the secretary of the detective agency, and Amanda's mother uh, lives with them, and she's played by Barbara Barry, and she plays Ellen Hobbs. And I know, right? Hobbs, yeah. I thought about that too. Um, so, but her mother does not have any powers. So there won't be any Endoras on Tucker's Witch. It skipped a generation. Her grandmother had powers, but her mom does not. Amanda has them. So there's no interference. There's no, Durwood or any of that. Um, I do believe this is like the first crime drama. I have to research that, I guess, but I'll do that during the next 13 weeks. I don't know if there's any other show that an hour long detective show where there was a witch. I'll have to look into that because this actually worked. This was a fun show, and again, the chemistry was really good. The cat was really pretty. It was a Perkins is a rag doll, a Siamese rag doll, beautiful looking cat. Amanda's familiar, and the action is very lighthearted. It's the crimes are dastardly, but there's not a whole lot of graphic violence or gunplay, in at least not in this episode. We'll see in the future. So yeah, uh, I'm thoroughly looking forward to talking about this series as we go on, and I, I hope I don't know if they released it for a home market yet. I'll have to look into that as well. I do know that some networks are doing that, have done that. They've released short run series. So we'll look into that and see if Paramount, or CBS or Paramount, has released Tucker Switch on the home market. And I'll bring that information to you next week. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Looking forward to talking about Tucker Switch for the next few weeks. I do hope that you'll enjoy it as well. And I'll find it, and it's streaming on Tubi, so it's free. You can watch all 13 episodes of the series on Tubi. And I highly recommend that you do. It's a fun series and one I think you'll really enjoy, especially if you're a horror fan. If you're a horror fan, Catherine Hicks from Child's Play, who later on married Jeff Yeager, who was one of the most innovative makeup men in Hollywood. She married him as well, and we'll talk about that next week, a little bit next week. So stay along, or stay along. Stick around. I hate doing these solo stuff. I just suck at it. But stick around for the next 12 weeks or so. Now after this, and enjoy the show. If you're new to the channel, please consider subbing. or you can leave a funny comment down below, sharing how I mangled this episode. I can understand that too. But hopefully you'll come back and we'll talk about Tucker Switch. Yeah, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell, and then drop a comment down below. And tell us your favorite Catherine Hicks movie or Tim Matheson movie. That's your assignment. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Peace.